Quick visual tidbits. The women of the 6888. During World War II, the U.S. Army had an all-female African-American postal battalion called the 6888 Central Postal Directory Battalion. When the Women's Army Corps, WAC, of the U.S. Army was created on July 1, 1943, the call went out for African-American women to enlist in the WAC. First Lady Eleanor Roosevelt and Civil Rights leader Dr. Mary McLeod Bethune started this recruiting campaign. From this recruiting process came the 824 enlisted personnel and 31 officers that formed this battalion. Their training took place at Fort Oglethorpe, Georgia. The battalion was organized into 5 companies: Headquarters Company, Company A, Company B, Company C, and Company D. If you think these brave women faced no danger, think again. During their transatlantic voyage, Nazi submarines threatened their ship. When they arrived at Glasgow, Scotland on February 14, 1945, the women were met by a German V-1 rocket that exploded near their dock. From Glasgow, they boarded a train to Birmingham, England. Awaiting the recruits were 3 airplane hangars full of a 1-year backlog of 7 million undelivered letters. The women processed and delivered mail. In 3 different shifts, the women worked continuously, 7 days a week. To help them work faster, they created information cards with new deployments of the American Army and Navy personnel, the Red Cross, and other civilian workers in Europe. African-American WACS, Hull and Cambridge, England. According to Mary Crawford Raglan of the 6888, this data was collected because some people didn't understand about addressing letters, so they would just write a letter to their son or husband addressed to Junior, U.S. Army, or to Sam, Army. She stated that it was our job to figure out who those soldiers were and get them their mail. With this new card system, they were able to process on average 65,000 pieces of mail per shift. They were nicknamed the 6888. They had 6 months to clear the backlog of mail, but they were done in 3. Besides being postal clerks, they also carried out various other duties, serving as cooks, mechanics, and other support personnel. Their motto was, "No mail, no morale." After greatly reducing the mail backlog in England, the battalion then relocated to Rouen, France. After arriving on June 1945, they faced a backlog of mail going back 2 to 3 years. Within 4 months, they had helped clear the mail in Rouen. The image you're seeing is from May 26, 1945, of Private Ruth L. James on duty at the gate during the open house at Rouen. Members of the Central Postal Battalion taking part in a ceremony in honor of Jeanne d'Arc in Rouen, France, May 1945. The 6888 was commanded by Major Charity Edna Adams Early. When the war ended, she was the highest-ranking African-American woman in the U.S. military. In 1946, after the war, the 6888 was disbanded at Fort Dix, New Jersey. Frolicking in the snow at Camp Shanks are a group of WACS, members of the Central Postal Directory Battalion, who were redeployed from France to this country and landed in New York City. After almost 14 months overseas in England and France, the WAC were happy to be home. They arrived from France on Friday, March 8th, and landed at Staten Island Terminal of the New York Port of Embarkation. They were among the last contingent of the 688th Central Postal Directory to return from overseas, March 13, 1946. For their contribution during the war, the members of the 688th Central Postal Directory Battalion were rewarded the European African Middle Eastern Campaign Medal, the Good Conduct Medal, and the World War II Victory Medal for their service. For E.I. Marcher, now you've been tidbitted.